Hey Reef Builders, it's Remy, and today I'm excited to take you on a brand new adventure with my Solomon Islands inspired reef tank. The Solomon Islands are made up of 1,000 islands scattered across the South Pacific. They're home to some of the most vibrant coral reefs and diverse marine life on Earth. In this video, I'll be drawing from the natural beauty and unique underwater world of the Solomon Islands as inspiration to design my new aquarium. Think lush coral gardens and crystal clear lagoons, all brought into my home tank. Let's dive into this island-inspired build. As I've never been to the Solomon Islands, all of my inspiration has come from the videos that I've seen on YouTube, specifically the trip that Jake took in 2019 and 2020. The diversity of fish and coral in this region is mind-blowing. From small polyp stony corals like Acropora, Montipora, to LPS like Blastomussa, Fimbrophilia, even anemones and soft corals as well. There are so much to choose from. The difficulty won't be in finding species to put in this aquarium, it'll be choosing which ones. The aquarium that I'll be using is from Tideline. It's an all-in-one that I purchased about 2 years ago from my local fish store. Have you ever purchased an aquarium and then got so busy or distracted, or you just didn't know what to do with it, and then 2 years later you're finally setting it up? Just me? Okay, awesome. The aquarium itself is 62 gallons, measuring 48.5 inches long, 18.5 inches deep, and 15.75 inches high with 10 millimeter glass. These aquariums fall into the budget category and are pretty affordable for what you get. This is a Planet subsidiary, so Planet Aquariums, you know them. They've got all their stands and all their tanks, but you can choose stands from the Planet Aquarium line that will fit the Tideline, which is what I did. I chose the Elegance stand and it's great. And again, I purchased this system a couple years ago, so make sure to check with the manufacturer before pulling the trigger on a stand from Planet and an aquarium from Tideline, because things might have changed, but this fits like a glove. The tank is sitting on 1/2 inch pink insulation from Home Depot. The Elegant stand has about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch lip on it, and I didn't want to lose that valuable viewing space, so I set it up a little bit higher on this 1/2 inch insulation, and it now sits at a perfect height. Before we dive into the tank, let's talk about equipment for a little bit. You get 2 return pumps with the tank. They're okay. I would like to replace these with the CJ 1.0s. I would love the controllability, and they're gonna be a lot quieter. Speaking of CJ, they recently sent Reef Builders their new skimmer line for nano aquariums, and I'm gonna use the 300 in the back of this tank. Now, I likely won't turn it on for a while, especially until we get livestock into the tank, but it'll be a nice mechanism for nutrient control down the road. The lighting is from Reef Breeders. Again, these are lights that they sent over for us to try out. Now, we've got some lighting experiments coming up in the future, early 2025, for a lot of different light testing going on at the Reef Builders studio. And they have stressed they want our honest opinion when it comes to these lights. I will tell you one thing is for sure, I don't think I've ever had this much coverage on a tank before. I've been playfully calling it a tanning bed that's sitting over my reef tank right now. Depending on when you watch this video, the Meridian line from Reef Breeders is not out yet, but what they've sent is a 4-foot Meridian and 2 edge bars, and I think that this will cover the tank nicely. I would also like to hang these lights from the ceiling for a little bit cleaner look down the road. I was excited to finally get this aquarium filled. It became a running joke, almost as funny as the tank that Raj hasn't set up yet, but it feels like I got this thing forever ago. So my thought was, if I'm going to make this a Solomon Islands inspired reef tank, then I should probably get rock from the Solomon Islands. Our good friend Caleb over at Vibrant Corals in Dallas recently was on a trip to the Solomon Islands, and I said, hey, if you can harvest any, or if you can bring me any back, that would be fantastic. He did me one better and actually sent video of him picking the live rock from the ocean. The chain of custody is important to note Typically what happens is the live rock is harvested from various spots on the reef that are approved. They're brought back in, they're kept in holding tanks, and then shipped out to the US or wherever their final destination is. I went and picked it up from Southwest Cargo and quickly unpacked it and just started to place it in the tank in no particular order to keep it wet. There truly is nothing like live rock from the ocean. You can plainly see how mature it is already. With true live rock, it's always fun to see what kind of creatures show up. In my case, not a whole lot of big creatures, which is kind of a good thing. You know, you always hear about the mantis shrimp and the big giant gorilla crabs and things like that. But I, at this point, have not caught anything major. Lots of copepods, feather dusters, and unfortunately the vermidid snails. Initial thoughts here, I wasn't sure if 55 pounds was gonna be too much. I think it might be a little tall, and obviously I'm gonna escape this. Yeah, nothing too crazy that I saw, but you know, all the weird critters always emerge afterwards. There was this gelatinous kind of, I don't know, it almost looked like an anemone or something. You gotta love rock from the Solomon Islands. All this branch rock just, it gives the aquarium an entirely different look. So when it comes to stocking, the coral choices are endless. Please leave your suggestions down in the comment section below. What fish, what coral, what cool inverts are coming out of the Solomon Islands that you would like to see in this tank. One of my dream fish, of course, is a dwarf angelfish, the Centropege aurantia, the golden angelfish, forgive my Latin. Yes, I realize that it can nip at corals, it's an angelfish, but it's so beautiful, and I don't think that there's a better tank to put one of these in. Some of the cons with this fish are they're quite shy, and a lot of times you don't end up seeing them as much as you would like. Another option when it comes to Centropege or the dwarf angelfish from the Solomon Islands or found in the Solomon Islands would be the flame angelfish, which is pretty well known in the hobby. There are also a lot of cardinal fish that come out of the Solomon Islands, and not the bangais that we're typically seeing in the hobby, but things like the 5-line cardinal fish. There's also the Talbot's damselfish, there's the Morrison's dragonet. And another thing you'll notice is that there is sand in this tank, so that opens up the wrasse category, maybe some tilefish down the road, we'll see. And while the fish and coral don't need to be endemic to the Solomon Islands, I would like it to be coral or fish that you would see if you were on a dive in the Solomon Islands. Now that the tank is through the cycle, I will slowly start adding some livestock to this tank. I want to thank you for coming along on this journey. Again, we find ourselves at the part 1 of another tank journey in my basement here. Of course, the Red Sea is down here as well, just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of that. But now we've got another tank to look forward to stocking and to growing. And the goal is someday to maybe make it to the Solomon Islands to do a dive and get that immersive inspiration myself. But until that time comes, I've got my little slice of the ocean right here in my basement studio. If you liked this video, you might also like my update on the Red Sea 625 G2 Plus that I recently posted. Go check that out and all the videos on the Reef Builders channel, and I'll see you in the next one.